Jason Tower.
Where I'm a little more indecisive. And the kinds of conversations that Chris and I would often have. Leave, and in this kind of work, you leave late. I would get to go home to my family, my kids, and a lot of folks think in a way we were kind of his family here, and he was certainly ours. In talking with staff over the last few days,
recognize the fact that cherish the life that we have today before us, the friends and the neighbors and the ones that are around you. And never forget that at any one moment you just go to work and things change drastically. And never forget that. So let's begin with a word of prayer. Father, we are a grateful people that we can assemble here this day and be reminded of the life of a next breath. That God, things can change so quickly. And so I pray, Father, each one of us today would learn this very special day to live it at its fullest, to recognize all the good things that take place in our life, be filled with joy, and know that at any time things can change. Love our families, love our work associates, our friends. Let the little simple things that come between us, Father, be just gone. Eternity. Let's have a moment of silence. We're here today, Lord, and there are many tears. There are sorrowful people. But God, we recognize today you are one who can supply our
Shock, sadness, prayers and thoughts for the families, and then I move on with my life. This past Saturday morning, a close friend of mine sent me a text asking if I had heard about Chris and the horrific event in Virginia Beach. Once again, I was shocked, I was saddened. My prayers went to the families of the victims. But the one thing I did not do was move on with my life. For you see, for the first time, I had a personal connection with one of the victims. I didn't know Chris as well as many of you did. But I did know him well enough to know that he was a kind.
Everybody said what a kind person Chris was. That's the kind of guy that I'm really sad that he's not with us anymore. He had a relatively short stay with us, but he had an impact on people, and I think that was because of the kind of person he is. Everybody here at Virginia Beach and everyone else that came in contact with him just talked about the kind of person he was and his kindness, and I just that's kind of what you're left with, is what a tragedy for a guy of that quality. So I think we have an organization here that work with him that have some time to get over that too. So just like we were just blessed that he was with us for a while.
Right. In today's memorial, you also paid tribute to the other victims in Virginia Beach.
Yeah, it's just it's hard every few weeks to hear about this, what's going on in this country, and it just makes me think about all the families and the loss that they have. Nothing political about that. It's just a hard thing, and there's no easy answers to it. But I just left with just praying for all those folks.
Right. How are the folks here at Stafford County doing?
It's been a hard few days. It's been a hard since people started to find out about it and had to come in to work on Monday morning, especially with the thought in their mind about violence and the threat that they have. We've had folks having to try to get through that, really having a hard time, worried about who's going to walk in the front door And we've had counselors in and spent some time really trying to focus on our staff and their needs. And you know, that's about the atmosphere, the environment, but obviously for their personal needs and concerns that they have. I've spent some time talking with some folks in our permit center that just, you know, that people walk right in their door and they're sitting there and they can't help but think about that kind of a danger. So we're trying to do all we can to comfort them and to do all we can with our facilities to be sure that we're staying on top of things.
Okay.
So that's really where we are, and I think it's just going to take some time, obviously, for everybody.
Great. Thanks, sir.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Have a good day, sir.